So the Celkon Q550 has pretty decent features, and there are some good things about this phone, which includes the thickness. So it is kind of a thin phone. It is 8mm in terms of the thickness, and second good thing is going to be the battery. It has a 3500 mAh battery, which should be sufficient to give you around 1 day and more than 1 day of battery backup at times. It has a high definition display, that is 720, which is going to be on 5.5 inch display. So the pixel density is again not going to be too high. It will give you around 267 pixels per inch, which is not too high, which we will show you just right now by taking a look over the display closely. We have 16 GB of inbuilt memory, and we have 1 GB of RAM, and we do have Android KitKat coming on this device preloaded. So again, this is not the latest version of Android. It is not Lollipop, but KitKat is coming pre-installed 4.4.2, and you have a quad-core processor as well on this device. There are some specifications which are being mentioned at the back side. It has a 5.5 inch display. It is an IPS LCD display panel with OGS technology, which is a one glass display technology. We have 1 GB of RAM, 16 GB inbuilt memory. We have 1.3 GHz quad core processor. This is MediaTek 6582 chipset, which we have seen on Android One phones as well. So we have the same hardware on this phone as you see on Android One phones. We have 3G video calling supported. Cellular video calls are supported on 3G. We do have support for 2 SIM cards. The first SIM card can support 3G, and the second SIM card can also support 3G. We have Wi-Fi connectivity as well. We have sensor which include gravity, light, proximity sensor, and we will just confirm whether it has magnetic field sensor or not. We have 8 megapixel camera at the back, and we have 2 megapixel front camera on this device, which is a fixed focus camera. The 8 megapixel camera at the back is autofocus and also can record high definition video, and it has LED flash as well. We have high definition video recording possible on this device. 64 GB of memory expansion is supported, so you can insert a micro SD memory card up to 64 GB, and then we have 3G speed supported, download 21 Mbps and upload 5.76 Mbps. We have 3500 mAh battery, and we do have OTG support as well on this device. The price which is mentioned on the box is 12,000 rupees. However, you can actually get this phone for approximately 10,499, which is the MOP or the market operating price for this phone. Let me just unbox this, and the first thing which we have inside the box is the device itself. Again, I have used this device for around 24 hours before I am doing this review. So this is a box which is already been opened up. So I have actually used this device, and the battery is there inside the device. It does not come out, so you cannot remove the battery. It is a kind of a unibody device. You have a rubberized finish matte cover, which is again plastic in nature. It is not too great in terms of the feel. You can actually listen to this sound, which is not too great, but it is not something which feels cheap in hand. This is something I would like to highlight, because this phone feels good. You have a very good nice grip because of the rubberized matte finish back cover at the back side of this phone, which is again cannot be removed. The battery cannot come out, but this is how it is. We have the power and sleep key over there. We have the volume rocker. Both of these buttons are plastic buttons finished in some kind of chrome, and they give good amount of feedback. We have the SIM card slot 1, which will be which can actually accept a normal size SIM card, whereas the SIM card slot 1 over here can accept a micro SIM. And we do have a micro SD memory card slot as well, and all these things can actually come out once you tap it like this, and then you can insert the micro SD memory card and the SIM card inside. Over here we have the 8 megapixel camera with LED flash, and we do have secondary microphone for noise cancellation. On the top we have 3.5mm audio jack. At the bottom we have the micro USB port for data syncing and charging. We have the primary microphone hole over there. On the front we can see we have the touch capacitor buttons, which are there at the bottom on the body of the phone, and again they do not have backlit LED, so it will be difficult for you to actually see them in dark room, and this is going to happen. Again, they have silver color paint, but you may not be able to see them in dark room because they do not have backlit LED. As far as the screen is concerned, the screen is a high definition display, which is 720p into 1280, and again it is 5.5 inch display. So the pixel density is again not too high, but you will not notice pixelation unless you read a document with large amount of text. This display is good enough in terms of the pixels, I would say, which are being distributed, and the font is such that you will not notice any pixelation on this device as far as the normal interface is concerned. This is how it is. On the front we have the nice metallic earpiece over there. We have the front camera, which is a 2 megapixel fixed focus camera, and let me just take a look over the package contents, and we will come back to the phone again. So here we have the package contents, and inside the package we have 3 boxes over there. This is the first box, which should have the flip cover or some of the things, I guess. Let me just check this thing out. Again, I have not opened these things earlier. I just took out the phone and started using it. This is an additional screen guard which you will get within the package, which you can use later, although there is one which will come pre-installed on this one. And then we have this guide over there, which is the warranty card. And then we have the user guide for this phone. Here we have a micro USB cable which can be used for data syncing and charging. And apart from this, let's take a look over this box, what we have inside. So we have a charger over there, and this charger, in terms of the output current, I can just show you. So it is a 1 ampere charger which you will get within the package. You also get an additional cloth to clean the screen within the package. And apart from this, we should have the headphones over here. So these are the headphones which you will get within the package of this phone. These are in-ear headphones. They do not look too great in terms of the quality. The plastic which is there on these headphones is again not too good. The quality of these headphones is not very nice. You do have a button to pick the calls, and you have a mic module over there, and this is how these in-ear headphones look like. I do not expect them to sound very good in terms of the sound quality, but I will just test them right away during this video. And here we have the audio lead. So these are all the things. We will keep all these things inside except the headphones which we are going to test. The sound quality which you can expect from these headphones is again not too great. I just plugged them in and I tried to listen a song through FM radio, and again the quality I got as far as sound is concerned was something which was okay. It was not too great. The trebles are really high, but bass is kind of low through these headphones. I would rather recommend you to go for any other third-party headphones. So here we have the Celkon Millennia Epic Q550 with us, and as you can see, this device feels decent enough to hold in one hand, although it does not feel like a very premium phone. The build quality is slightly okay, not too great, and the sound which I can basically listen once I tap on the back cover is again not too great. This does not give a very great indication about the build quality, but build quality is decent enough. It can actually survive couple of drops as well. I accidentally dropped this phone and nothing happened to the phone. The display is still intact, although there is no mention of any kind of protection on the display side, but it is good enough to survive couple of drops depending at what height you are dropping it. From the waist height, it should be fine. In terms of the overall form factor, this device definitely feels bigger to hold in one hand, but they have designed it in such a way that you can hold it in one hand, but one-handed usage will go for a toss. It will be difficult for you to use it with one hand. When it comes to the thickness is around 7.9 millimeter in terms of the dimensions, and when we talk about the weight, it is around 143 gram in terms of the weight, which is again not very heavy. Here we have the device with us, and one thing which I can say about this device, which is Q550, is that the build quality is definitely not on the very high premium side. It is decent enough for the price you are paying for this phone, and it does not feel like a cheap phone. Once you hold it in hand, it is actually light. Considering this is a 5.5 inch phone, it feels very light, and it is around 143 gram in terms of the weight. Talking about the thickness, it is 7.9 millimeter in terms of thickness, which is again good enough for a phone of this much of display size and this kind of a price. 16 GB of inbuilt memory you have, and 1 GB of RAM you have. We will just go into details what all you have as far as software is concerned. So let's take a look over the notification center. First of all, this is how it looks like. It is again stock Android in terms of the overall look and feel, and you have toggles over there for the battery, for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode. We do have support for wireless display as well on this device. Let's go into settings and take a look what we have as far as version of Android is concerned. So we have Android 4.4.2 KitKat on this device, which is again not the latest version, which is Lollipop, but you have to live with it. You will get software updates on this device in future, but there is no information whether you will get Lollipop on this one or not. taking a look of the storage, I can show you the storage information as well. 16 GB of inbuilt storage it has, and you have 1.97 GB allocated for application, where you can install application by default, and you do have other part of the phone storage which can also be used for installing application, which is around 11.59. So 11.59 is the storage which you will get for installing application, storing picture, videos and other data. And you do have the option of changing the default write disk. So once you insert an SD card, you can actually change the default write disk, and you can change the preferred installer location. In that case, you can move application from the phone memory to the SD card, which is supported on this one, which is good. Let's take a look of the location information. So you do have support for GPS navigation. You can use this device for GPS navigation as well. Let's take a look at the application scenario. So we have 1 GB of RAM on this device, which is quite sufficient to power up this phone and to make it responsive enough in terms of the UI. As far as RAM is concerned, as of now, around 485 or 484 MB of RAM is free out of 1 GB, which is good enough, but you will get around 500 to 550 MB of RAM free on the first boot on this device. We have installed a couple of applications and games, that is why the amount of RAM shown is slightly less. We do have audio profiles over there, and you have the option of enhancing the overall quality of sound from the headphones by checking this option over here under audio profiles, which is good. Let's take a look over other things. We do have support for internet tethering as well, so you can create a portable Wi-Fi hotspot as well on this device. As you can see, you have support for Bluetooth tethering, and USB tethering is also supported. You have support for VPN as well. All these things are there on this device, which is good. Although I do not notice a power saver on this device, so you will have to install a third-party application to do any kind of power management on this phone. But this device has 3500 mAh battery, which should be sufficient. I have not tested the battery as of now, so I won't be able to tell you anything about the battery, but we will come up with another video in which I will tell you the battery backup performance of this phone. Talking about application which you will get pre-installed, you get a lot of pre-installed application which you may or may not like, but you cannot actually uninstall them. So you have Celkon Care, you have Celkon Games, C Live, and all these applications which will come pre-installed. You also have Doctor Safety, which is an antivirus powered by Trend Micro. So you have this antivirus also, which will come pre-installed, and also give you the suggestion of installing application or moving application to the SD card once you install them. You have a file manager as well, which will come pre-installed. You have FM radio as well, which is good. And these are some other applications. You will get OLX and Opera Mini, which will also come pre-installed. You have trial version of Modern Combat 4, which is coming pre-installed. We do have installed some application which are the benchmark application. I can show you the benchmark application to show you the overall hardware which we have on this one. So we have MediaTek 6582 chipset, as I already told you, but let me just show you the details. So we have the model number, which is Celkon Q550. It is MediaTek 6582 chipset, and we have ARM V7 processor clocked at 1.3 GHz. It is a quad-core processor, MediaTek 6582 chipset it is, and we have the display resolution over there, which is 720x1280. We have Mali 400 MP as the GPU on this one, and these are the sensors which we have on this phone, which includes accelerometer sensor, proximity sensor, light orientation, and you also have magnetic field sensor as well on this device. Taking a look of the phone dialer, this is how the phone dialer look like, which is kind of a custom phone dialer, and you do have the option of making a cellular video call on this device. You have the option of setting a speed dial, send a message, and you can also do other things related to phone calling on this device. When it comes to messaging application, this is how it looks like. On the messaging application itself, we can see we have a QWERTY keyboard, which is not the stock Android keyboard. It is a custom one. It does not have continuous input typing, but the keyboard keys are pretty big in size in terms of typing, so you can easily type on this device without any issues with the portrait mode. It has a pretty big display for keyboard to be accommodated in that display. Typing is good fun on this device. I do not notice any kind of issues on this device, but again, you can always type in the landscape mode in case you face any issues, but continuous input typing or swipe type is not supported on. So here we have the camera interface, and this is how it looks like. As you can see, it does have autofocus, and tap to focus is also supported. I can just take a photo of this Android robot to show you the performance of this device as far as camera is concerned, and I will take another photo without the artificial light. So we have taken both of these photos one by one. Let me just show you both of them. So this is the one which has been taken without the artificial light. One thing I can notice in this photo is that the amount of details is something which is not too high, so details are not too great in this particular photo, but color production is done nicely, although it is not the same thing which I can see on the display and over here. So it is not the same thing, the colors are being reproduced slightly differently. And over here this photo is looking nice in terms of the colors as well as in terms of the details. As you can see, the details are nicely captured in the photo which has artificial light, although the one which does not have artificial light, the details are not that clear. But in all, I can say that the photo quality on this device as far as rear camera is concerned is pretty decent, both in low light as well as with artificial light. As far as the front camera is concerned, I can show you the interface for the front camera. So let me just toggle to the front camera. So this is how the front camera will look like. The front camera is a 2 megapixel camera. It is decent enough, I would say, for the price, and I can just take a photo of mine. So I've just taken a selfie and this is how it will look like. It does apply a certain amount of beautification, I guess, to the photo, but don't expect much from this front camera unless you have good amount of light falling on your face, especially for video calls. The amount of details it has captured is also looking good, but again, it is not too great. The front camera is decent enough, I would say, for video calls, and again the 2 megapixel camera it has, it can do a pretty decent quality of video chat. Not a high definition quality of video chat is supported. So let's toggle to the rear camera and I can show you some more options. So we have the live photo mode over there, we have a beautification mode supported, panorama mode is also supported. You do have support for HDR mode as well, which you can enable over here. So you can tap over here and you can enable HDR capturing, and let me just take a photo in the HDR mode as well. So we have taken the photo in the HDR mode, and this time the photo has came out to be pretty good. I would say this is brighter, this is better in terms of colors, and again details are also very nicely captured in this photo when I have taken with HDR mode. So HDR mode is good to be used on this phone, but you don't have to move the camera much in that case unless you will have blurry shots. So camera wise it is a decent device. We have just got the score on AnTuTu for this device, which is 18429, which is a pretty decent score for a device like this, which is priced only 10,000 rupees approximately. So again, this is lower than any other device in this particular bar chart, but this device is decent enough in terms of the day-to-day performance. One thing which I can say is that you will experience slight amount of lag in the UI over time once you install application, once you load this phone with too many games. That is going to happen, but overall it is a decent phone in terms of the interface. I did not experience a major lag on this device or any kind of major hang. It can actually function pretty nicely and smoothly once you know how to use it, especially in terms of the memory constraints. So in case you load up this phone with too many applications, make sure you free up the phone as far as RAM is concerned so that it can give you a pretty good performance. On Ninamark, we have got a score of 51.6 FPS, which is one of the best score I can say, especially for a device like this with this much of price point, and it can handle high definition games as well, although you will experience slight amount of lag in the graphics when you play high definition games like Modern Combat 4 or maybe higher than that. So now we are playing this game which is called Temple Run OZ. In terms of graphics, this game is running smoothly and touchscreen is also very responsive to the finger touch. I can increase the volume to full as well. So this game is running smoothly without any issues, as you can see. This is just to give you an overview about the gaming. This is the casual graphic intensive game and it is running pretty fine on this phone. And similarly, you can expect the same performance for Subway Surfer as well. When it comes to the viewing angle, the viewing angles are also good, even when you tilt the phone like this when you play this game. So as you can see, we are right now playing a high definition video from our channel, and this video is getting played in high definition quality as well. As you can see, 720p. And when it comes to the viewing angles are pretty good on this device. When I see the display from extreme angles, I can see the display. There is slight amount of color fading happening, but the display is visible from almost all the angles. The loudspeaker is also fairly loud, I would say. For a device like this, it is not the loudest and not very loud in terms of the sound, but it is pretty good. It is at the back side over here, and the loudspeaker is actually of this much size, but again they have given a bigger mesh so that there is no sound blockage. And when you place the device like this on a table, the sound does get muffled slightly but not get blocked completely, because it is slightly on the curved part at the backside, which you may notice. So loudspeaker is again at the backside, which is not a great design, but it does not get blocked completely, and it is fairly loud, I would say, in terms of the loudness. So here we have a graphic intensive game loaded on the Celkon Q550 device, and let's see how does this game perform on this phone with this hardware. In terms of graphics, I can see everything crisp and clear, so that there is no issue with the graphics, and touchscreen response is also decent. There is no problem with that as well. And I can easily play this game on this device without any graphic lag or without any touchscreen issues. So you can play games like this and some other games which are kind of graphic intensive on this phone without much of an issue. Although Modern Combat 5, which is a very graphic intensive game, you can play that as well, but it will show you slight amount of lag, especially at the first time of loading. But you can play high definition games on this device, including Modern Combat 4 and some other games like Subway Surfer and Frontline Commando D-Day as well. Let's check out the support for OTG. We have an OTG flash drive over here. Let me just connect the same. So as of now I do not, okay, yeah, there is a notification OTG is supported on this device, so you can use the OTG flash drive to read the contents on this particular device, and you can basically open any file from your flash drive. You can also use the OTG external OTG flash drive as default write disk as well, which is very good. In case you would like to install application on the OTG flash drive, you can do that by setting that as default write disk, but there will not be all application which will support getting installed on the OTG flash drive, but some of the application will get installed. As far as LED notification light is concerned, we do have LED notification light as well on this device. The battery backup from this phone is, again, I'm not able to comment as of now because I haven't used this device for much longer time. For the 24 hours, for the last 24 hours I have been using this device, I can say that the battery backup is decent enough. I started with approximately 80% of battery, and as of now the percentage of battery which is there on the device is 28%, which is still good after using this device for 24 hours. I was not constantly using it, but I was using it for gaming, I was using it for benchmarking, I was using it for playing some videos, kept testing the capability of the device, the viewing angles and other things. So in all, I can say that this device can give you around 1 day battery backup easily. This is something which I can say initially. More I will say once I test this device more. So that's all from us. Do let us know if you have any specific question for the Celkon Millennium Epic Q550, which the name of this device, which is a pretty long name. I would rather call it Q550. So do let us know if you have any specific question for this device. We would love to help you. You can like this video help you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.